Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen and welcome to Our Irish Family. So today I'm going to do a Q&A for you. So this was a question that I posted on my community tab on my channel. And I think there's like 8 questions or something, so I'm just going to answer them as they were left. So I just need to pull them up here. I have my computer open if you're kind of wondering what I'm doing. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who left a question. I was thinking about it, like I'm pretty open in general with what's happening in my life and stuff that's happening, you know, with Ava and myself. So there's probably not very many questions because I do generally answer them throughout vlogs and stuff. If you're actually watching my day in the lives and stuff, I do kind of answer these questions. So I'm just opening my my channel. Of course, it doesn't really want to work because why would technology work when you want it to? Here we go. Sorry about this, I should have been prepared. So community, here we go, finally. Okay. So there is 8 questions, which is perfect. So I am going to do from the first one. So the first one is from a lady called Tanya, and her question is, do you ever feel lonely being a stay-at-home mom? Love your videos, by the way. And so thanks very much, Tanya, for actually watching my videos. That's always helpful. But the question, do I ever feel lonely as a stay-at-home mom? When I first had Ava and I was adjusting to be a stay-at-home mom, I definitely found it lonely. I didn't have a routine. I didn't have stuff to kind of like take up my time. Everything was about Ava and Ava alone. And then I got pretty serious about my YouTube and my blog, and those are great outlets for me to spend time doing. So like right now, Ava is down for a nap. She just came home from play school. She started play school and she just came home and she's down for a nap. So she'll nap for about an hour, and in that hour I'm going to get some YouTube stuff done. And you'll see if you watch my day in the lives that I tend to go out places. So I tend to either like go down the town. So I know like if you're in the US and stuff, towns aren't really towns like we have here. But I kind of tend to go to places where there are people. And then I bring her to the soft play places. I've started bringing her to a toddler group on a Friday. I have, you know, struck up conversations with other moms. I actually have met some people that through Instagram that live around my area. I go to the playground with her, and then it's all about striking up conversations. Now, I never ever used to do that. Like I used to just kind of, you know, go amongst my day and you know, not talk to people. But I am quite introverted as well, so it doesn't bother me if I don't talk to people. But there are times where I just kind of want to talk to somebody who's normal. What I mean by normal is it's not going to be about Ava. It's just about normal everyday things, celebrity gossip, that sort of stuff, you know. And I find that that is quite tough. A lot of my friends, like my friends, they don't have kids, or if they do, they're so busy because they have a billion things to do. So to answer the question is, sometimes I do get lonely, but I try to fill my time with activities. But definitely at the very start, for a good 6 months or so, I was constantly feeling lonely, and it was only when I had the outlet from my blog, from my YouTube, and then going places with Ava, it just kind of broke up the day, and then you just kind of see time runs quicker and you feel less lonely. So I hope that answers your question, Tanya. And so question number 2 is from S. Widdis. So she says, I'm assuming it's a she. I apologize if it's a he. I always thought S. Widdis was a she. So how do you manage your time while still getting your work done every day. So this is kind of like leads from what I said just there. One moment now, my throat is really dry. I work around Ava. So as I said, Ava was at school for 3 hours, and during that 3 hours I got some housework done, and then now I collected her, I gave her some lunch when she came home, and she's down for a nap, and she'll sleep for about an hour. So during that hour is when I get my YouTube work done. And then I've mentioned this before in my blog, I'm really lucky to have both my parents living in the same town as us and Robert's parents living in the same town, and both of them obviously wants to see Ava. She's the only grandchild, she's so spoiled. So 2 days a week, you know, she goes to her grandparents, whether it's for a couple of hours or whether it's from like 9 to 5. So during those times I do get blog posts wrote, or I try to get blog posts wrote, and other YouTube content, and then I just kind of like spend those times relaxing as well. I do the grocery shopping, I plan a lot of things, I like budget our finances during those times. And then at night time, when Robert is here in the evening, if I have to record a video that's kind of like night or evening Pacific, I do it when he's here. During the weekend, sometimes like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, he'll just go himself and bring Ava to somewhere like a play place or the playground, and I use that time to do my YouTube stuff there as well. So I am quite lucky. I do have a good network here in the town, so there's a huge amount of people who want to spend time with Ava, so I am really lucky in that remark. So that's really how I get it done. I kind of, on days where I have her like every single day, obviously I have her every single day, she's my daughter, but on the days that she's not with my mum or Robert's mum, I use her nap time to get things done, and then when she's off for stuff like getting the dinner done or whatever, I kind of just, you know, she's really into Play-Doh right now, so I'd put up her Play-Doh or her kinetic sand or some sort of craft activity at the table. And she also wants to help me now with a lot of stuff, so I do let her kind of like pour things in, put things in the pot, so yeah, it's kind of about working around her is really how everything gets done. So number 3 is from Ready Thready So. Ooh. If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be? I changed having PCOS. Can I change that? That's really the only thing in my life that I haven't been happy with, is our fertility, is my PCOS, is my weight. My weight is a major factor in my PCOS. My PCOS causes my weight. It's like, you know, a big circle. I've talked about this before in my PCOS videos. I have a couple of those if you're interested. I'll link them down below. And it's basically that, like everything else in my life I'm happy with. Obviously I'd like to have more money. I would you know, like to own my own home, those sorts of things. But you know, overall I'm pretty happy with the way things are going, except for our fertility. My PCOS, as I said, is a major issue, so I just think that if I could change one thing, it would be that I don't have PCOS or fertility issues. Then I think I'd be pretty happy. So then the next question, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th question is from Frances, and she says, do you ever plan to go to college? So I have went to college, so various times. So when I left school, I did my Leaving Cert. Here is like that big exam that you do before you go off to college. I did my Leaving Cert. I had just turned 17 and no idea what I wanted to do. So I randomly one day thought up that I wanted to be a beautician. So I went and did my beautician's degree, certificate, diploma, whatever it's called. I did that and I became a qualified beautician. I tried for a little while to get a job in that, wasn't very successful, but I wasn't really very interested in doing that, if I'm being honest. During the time that I was doing my beautician's course, I got a job in a retail store here in Ireland called Dunnes Stores. So I was part-time there while I was doing my my beautician stuff. Once I finished that and I couldn't find a job, I became full-time in that job, and I worked there for 3 years. Then after the 3 years, I moved. A new shopping center was built here in my town. Moved there, worked as a full-time retail assistant in a different store. Hated it. I hated working in retail. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't like it at all. So I decided that I was going to try and get into an office-based job. So I took a payroll course. So I did some payroll courses, and I got a job in a US aerospace company for an aerospace company, and in HR. So I worked in the payroll section of HR. So when I was there for like a year, they approached me about doing more HR side of things than the payroll. So keeping on the payroll, but then taking more interest in the HR side of things. So what I did was I did a diploma in human resources management. I also did my CIPD. So I have qualifications in human resources, and yeah, that's where my main qualifications lie. I don't ever plan to go back to human resources, and I don't really have any plans at the moment to go and do a degree in anything. It's not something right now that's on my radar. I'm not saying that it's not something I'm never going to do, but right now I'd have no idea, and I'd only be doing it for the sake of doing it, not for the love of it. So right now I have no further plans for any further education. So the 5th question is from Orla, and Orla says, do you and Rob ever go on date nights or out with friends? Me and Robert are terrible at going on date nights. And it's me who's the issue. So a couple of years ago, before I had a baby, we used to go out every single weekend. We go out with our friends and family every single weekend on a Saturday night for a couple of drinks. And then when I started to try for a baby, I still went out, but I wasn't drinking. I decided to give up alcohol. And Robert cut back on the amount of alcohol he was drinking in that night, because they say alcohol, you know, affects your fertility. Then when I had Ava, obviously I was just so wrecked that I never went out. And I still don't drink. The last time I drank was 1 cocktail at my birthday, and before that I think there was 1 cocktail at Christmas. And it's only when I go for dinner at this specific place do I get like a strawberry daiquiri. And being perfectly honest with you, I am not interested in going out. When our friends go out, it's to the pub. Sorry, my throat. So when our friends and family go out, it's to the pub. My eyes are all watering now from coughing. They go to the pub, and because I don't drink, I've kind of found my tolerance for drunk people is quite low. So I always choose not to go. Robert about once a month goes out with his brother and friends. But for me, I prefer to meet people for like coffee during the day, and that sort of stuff, you know. Or I just kind of prefer, yeah, just to meet people during the day. You know, it works so much better, whether it's a case that Robert stays here with Ava and I go meet somebody for lunch, or Ava comes with me. I much prefer that during the day, because as I said, I don't drink. So going out is just kind of annoyance, and by kind of 11 o'clock I want to come home. And as for date nights, unfortunately we don't do date nights. We're awful at date nights. I think we've done like 2 since Ava was born. We do have a lot of time, like sometimes on a Sunday, Robert's mother would take Ava. So every Sunday we go to Robert's parents' house for dinner, and Robert's mother would be like, just go home and collect her later. So we do have time to ourselves then, and mostly we kind of like come home, sit down, watch something on the telly, but it is just kind of like time where just me and Robert can talk. and that sort of stuff. We spend time, but it's definitely something that I want to improve upon, is going out for date nights, even if it is just for like 1 or 2 drinks for Robert, and then we come home, because as I said, I'm not really into drinking anymore. I just get major hangovers. It's just not worth it anymore. So yeah, unfortunately, no, we don't do date nights, but we do see our friends. Robert goes about once a month out on like a Saturday night, and then he would spend time, he'd be closest to his brother, so he would just spend time during the week with his brother, and then with me, I try to meet up with friends twice a month, and then I do see like Robert's sister, who I'd consider a friend, like every single weekend. So yeah. So the 6th question is from Dana, and Dana says, do you have any family, budget or health goals before trying for another baby? I have all of those things. I have family, budget and health goals. So the health obviously is trying to lose weight, because the more weight I lose, the better it is for my PCOS, and you know, in the hopes that it kind of like helps me ovulate naturally and those sorts of things. So that is kind of like a goal that I want. As for budget, we are constantly on like a budget financial journey. In 2016 we started following the Dave Ramsey baby steps. We're still on baby step 3. We've been on baby step 3 for about 1.5 years. We're just stuck there. Money has become very tight in the last couple of months, so we don't get a lot of savings. So anytime something comes up, like a sponsored post on my blog or on my YouTube, you know, I really have to consider it, because you know, we need that extra money to help us, you know. So we do have some savings set aside. So if you're familiar with the Dave Ramsey, so step 1 is saving a small emergency fund of like €1,000. Step 2 is paying off all your debt to become debt free, and then step 3, which we are on, is building up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So if it's ever the case that Robert loses his job, we'd have 3 months to cover 3 months money there to cover all of our finances, so like rent, petrol, like all that sort of stuff would be covered. So that's the step we're on. So obviously, you know, it would be ideal if we have baby step 3 complete before a new baby comes along, but I'm not, you know, trying to have that complete. You know, if that happens before that, it's not the end of the world. We still have an awful lot of stuff, so if a baby did come on in the next year, you know, we do have stuff for it, so we won't have that extra finance of having to buy like a new crib or a new buggy or like those big bulk items, you know. So we do have that. So really right now it's the health side of stuff that I'm kind of trying to concentrate on with my weight, and trying to get that down, trying to eat better, trying to get the whole family to eat better. Ava is not a great eater, I am not a great eater, and Robert eats anything. So we're just trying to, as a family, eat better, in the hopes that it helps me lose weight. So number 7, sorry, I keep coughing, is from Sammy, and Sammy says, are we still trying for baby number 2? So if you remember, a while ago I put out saying that we're not going to try for baby number 2 anymore. We're not actively trying for baby number 2. I was going to concentrate on my weight, and so that is still the case. We're not actively trying, but because, like, so for instance, I'm on cycle day 5 today, and my last cycle was 60 days. The cycle before that was 46 days, and the cycle before that was like 54 days. So I can only take it that I don't ovulate, or I ovulate really late. So we can't actively try unless we're, you know, having sex every single day. And yeah, so no, we're not actively trying, but we're not, obviously, you know, we're not trying, if you know what I mean. So definitely I still want a second baby, and I'm getting more broody as the days go on. So yeah, I'm sure we'll start actively trying again in the near future, but when that is, I don't know. And the final question is from Roxana. Roxana? I think that's how it says, are you still on a weight loss journey, and if so, any update? So if you remember, I started in March of this year. I went to Slimming World. I had lost over a stone. I think I'd lost like 18 pounds, 19 pounds. Pretty much put that all back on. Pretty much did. I just lost control of myself over the summer, eating everything around me, and have put all that weight back on, or the majority of that weight back on. So now I'm back to square one, you know, so I have to try again. So that's what I am doing. I'm taking I'm kind of following the Slimming World plan again. I have started doing workouts from home via the YouTube by the Body Coach. I don't know why I said naked. By the Body Coach. I think that's what he's called. But anyways, it's like, I'll link the channel below. I use his free workouts. I find them extremely tough. I'm out of breath. But you know, I'm hoping that with time that will, you know, come on. So Ava started school this week. So my plan is from next week to walk her to school and to walk home, and that would take me about 30 minutes, and then also do my fitness workout on my telly from YouTube. And that's the plan. That's all the question, guys. So I hope that has answered everybody's questions. For some reason I'm losing my voice. My drink isn't working, my throat is so dry. But anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I hope it gave you a little bit of insight into where we are, what we're doing, and how things are for us right now. If you have any further questions, please do leave them in the comment section and I'll try to get back to you. And that's it. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I put out videos 3 days a week. And that's